Yes, students. Last class we studied about gametes. Okay, male gamete, female gamete, that is a sperm, ovum. We have studied about this one. This class we try to understand about fertilization. What is fertilization? So just write down few lines. Actually, first of all, I tell you that male gametes and female gametes means a sperm and ovum. They just fuse and fuse. They just fuse to make one zygote. So this process of fusion is known as fertilization. Okay, so see, write this. Fusion. The fusion of a sperm. The fusion of a sperm with an egg. These are the gametes. Last class we have studied. If you don't remember, then you can go through that video. Okay, so the fusion of a sperm with an egg to form a zygote. Zygote is their special term. I just tell you about this. So the fusion of a sperm with an egg or ovum to form a zygote during sexual reproduction is called fertilization. So one thing should be very clear here, students, that just fusion of a sperm, you see that the fusion of a sperm with an egg means male and female gamete will fuse, and they will fuse and they form zygote. So different two cells, male gamete, female gamete, a sperm and ovum, two different cells are there. They just come and fuse each other and form one single cell. So they still remain the single cell. Always remember, zygote is single cell. Okay, so what is zygote? We try to understand that. This one is fertilization. Process is fertilization, means fusion of male and female gamete. This process is fertilization, and zygote is the formed cell. So when they two fuses, they form one cell. That cell is known as zygote. Okay, so write down this zygote. This one is also very important. What is zygote? When a sperm means male gamete, when a sperm and an ovum, fuse together, sperm and ovum fuse together, they form a zygote. Okay, students. So actually what is this? That zygote is formed when egg, ovum and a sperm, they just come closer and just interact with each other. They form one new cell, that is known as zygote. Okay, and the process of fusion is fertilization. That is the basic difference between this. I will tell you this one through one diagram, then it will be easy to understand for you. So always remember this, what I have written. Fertilization is the process of fusion of sperm and egg, and zygote is when they fuses, they just form a cell, that is zygote. So through one diagram we see this, how it will happen. Two things, fertilization and zygote. How is zygote will form? So see, Last class I told you that egg cells of this one, you just see this one is a egg cell. Okay, suppose this one is egg, and other all the components are there. We are not going to just focus that all components, only this one you see. Okay, this one is the nucleus. Nucleus is important part, you know, and this one is simply, this one is egg. Suppose one sperm is here, one sperm is here like this. Okay, see, this one is just an sperm, and this sperm is just coming to this egg. Okay, so this one is a sperm. We can say this one is nucleus of a sperm. This one is tail, you know that this one is tail, and this is diagram of a sperm. So male gamete and female gamete. This ovum is female gamete, egg is female gamete, and this sperm is male gamete. Okay, students. Now they will interact, means this sperm is coming in this direction, female gamete, that is ovum. Now it will just come and just fuse with it. That's fusion I have written. So see, this type I have here. This one is identical, you don't be confused. This type of egg, okay, so this one just came and stuck that try to enter inside. Okay, and last diagram, that just enter. So you see, this one I have egg here, and you see this one just entered, nucleus just fused in that. Tail just degenerated, tail just separated, it is not going to enter inside. Only nucleus, this part has fused, entered inside, and it just come to mix with this nucleus, and only one nucleus is here. You don't be confused that two nucleus, initially we had two nucleus, but only one nucleus now we have, and tail of this sperm is of no use. So this tail will degenerate. Okay, this is of no use. Okay, and this finally formed cell is known as zygote. This is a zygote. Okay, so initially we started from here, they tried to just fuse male gamete, just try to fuse female gamete, a sperm try to fuse this ovum, egg, here it just stuck, and this tail just gave movement to that. That's why tail, ultimately there is no use of tail. So that tail just tail do not enter inside, that will degenerate. Only this part will enter inside and fuse here. So two nucleus and nucleus inside that, they just fuse and single nucleus is formed. In that case, this zygote is also one cell, single cell. You don't be confused that this is just a fertilized egg and that is also a single cell. It is not two cell, it is a single cell. Okay, student, that is most important thing. So this is the process of fertilization, how fertilization take place, and after this fertilization one zygote is formed. That zygote is the first cell of new baby, new living being, whatever that will be. The first cell is this. It will just develop, divisions are there certain, this will divide and produce number of cells, and all the body is formed by this initial one single zygote. Okay, so this one is most important, first cell of life. Life will start, one new next life will start from this zygote. So that is the main thing. I hope you understand this concept. Now you see that this fertilization taken place when male just produced male gamete and female produced female gamete, and they just fused. Okay, so this is the fertilization. What do you think that all the organisms in all the animals, all the different organisms have different female body and male body? Yes, most of them have different in sexual reproduction. Most of them have different male and female body, but some of the organisms are there, they have both male and female parts in single body. They can just produce male and female gamete. Single body is capable to produce male and female gamete both. Okay, what we discussed that male gamete means male body part will produce this female gamete, female body part will produce that. In that way we need two parents, different parents. There should be differences are there in their reproductive organs, but some of the organisms are there, both the parts are there situated in the same organism, and both the gametes, the single organism produce both the gametes. Okay, so what is the name of that? That is known as hermaphrodites. Okay, so hermaphrodites we have to understand. You just write about this. Means they have both the parts, and they will produce male gametes and female gametes as well. So some organisms like earthworms. Okay, so earthworms also, some organisms like earthworms and leeches. Some organisms like earthworms and leeches the same individual produces both male and female gametes. Both gametes are produced, male and female gametes, by a single body. You see, male and female gametes. Such organisms are called hermaphrodites. Okay, so actually they can produce both male and female gametes. Single body is capable. Now we will understand in higher classes that how they will fertilize. There may be internal fertilization, same only one that organism can reproduce. Their reproduction takes place in a single body. Sometimes the one male, you know that both the organs, both a type of gametes are produced, even though they come in others contact, and other body means one body's female part will act with other body's male part, that is gametes. So sometimes this one is also happening inside in one single body. Reproduction may take place. They take two different bodies, but even though both have this male and female parts, male and female gametes, but they come in contact and do that, practice that same thing. So this in detail we will understand in higher classes. Only you have to understand here hermaphrodites means that some of the organisms like earthworms and leeches have both the male and female parts. They can produce both the male and female gametes, and that is a special category of organisms. Okay, students. Now one thing we try to know that Fertilization, I told you that fertilization takes place, means male gamete, that is a sperm, and female gamete, that is ovum, just fuse and form zygote. So where they form this? Sometimes some organisms are there inside female body, this fertilization takes place. As humans also, males put their sperm inside the female body, and inside their female body their fertilization takes place in fallopian tubes. We will just read in detail in after few classes. But some of the organisms are there, they just exhibit external fertilization, means inside body fertilization do not take place. Okay, they just release a sperm, and male releases sperm and female release ovum outside their body, and outside that they just fuse. So inside body is not there. So two types of fertilization we can have: internal fertilization and external fertilization. Okay students, so two types of fertilization we have: internal fertilization, and external fertilization. Okay, internal fertilization and external fertilization. Internal fertilization, in that segment, just fertilization takes place inside the female body. Simply you can understand. Human is also example of that, means fertilization takes place inside the female body in humans, and some of them are just external. So first I just start with this. Internal fertilization. Okay, so see, simple single line I will write this. The fertilization which takes place, the fertilization which takes place inside the female body. Okay, inside the female body is called internal fertilization, is called, means inside the female body the fertilization which takes place inside the female. What fertilization we have studied, that process is exhibited inside the female body, means male only put their sperm inside the female body and the process takes place likewise. Okay, so the fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization, where you can see some of the organisms which just go through this internal fertilization. You can see humans, we are also in that category. Internal fertilization is there, means fertilization takes place inside the female body. Okay, humans, cows, you know cows, they also do this, dogs, tigers, lions, actually maximum they just go through internal fertilization. Deer, horse, etc. So many you see, I cannot write this. So internal fertilization, simply I can say fertilization takes place, means fusion of male gamete and female gamete takes place inside the female body, that is known as internal fertilization. Now we have external fertilization. Okay, see, we have external fertilization. So just opposite of that, the fertilization which takes place, outside the female body, okay, outside the female body is called external fertilization. Okay, so outside the female body, the fertilization which takes place outside the female body is called external fertilization. Actually, what happens, student? I just gave some examples. Some organisms, directly as you just write examples in which it is just going to be practiced. Frogs, fishes, these are just common examples. Okay, frog is the most common example. Actually, what happens in this segment, fertilization do not take place inside the female body. We have studied in junior classes also that in frog what happens, male frog and female frog is there, and in the bank of the river they just lay their eggs, female lay their egg, and just put male also just secrete or just put their sperms in that watery substance, and outside that in water, and when a sperm just matches with ovum and egg, then they just fertilize. So both of the male and female just put their eggs and sperms outside their body, that is not inserted inside the female body. So that is the simplest example, frogs. You can remember that one. We have studied in junior classes also that in frogs they just put their eggs and sperm outside their body, and there after that in watery substance we know that they just fertilize. So this one is not going to practice inside the female body, that's why it is called as external fertilization. Okay students, next class we will study about human reproductive system. Okay.